The stadium erupted early and then turned colder. What began as a tactical chess match at the Ramon Sánchez Pizjuan quickly became a dissection. Sevilla, eager, methodical, prized open spaces, punished hesitation and left Barcelona reeling as a 4-1 scoreboard flashed the truth. This was not a night of near misses, but of decisive blows. For Barca, the problems were visible in every pass that lacked conviction and in a defence that, at times, looked bewildered rather than organised. Ronald Araujo, usually a rock, was culpable for one of the openings that let Sevilla in, and the forwards, apart from a flicker here and there, were unable to turn possession into menace. All of that set the stage for a single crushing moment, a penalty that carried more than 3 points. It carried momentum, pride, and the fragile belief of a team still finding its rhythm. Robert Lewandowski, the veteran striker who has been Barcelona's reliable finish for seasons, stepped up, steadied himself, and then misfired. The keeper guessed right, the ball missed its mark, and instantly the energy shifted. Sevilla smelled blood and widened the gap, and Barca's players were left to gather the pieces of a night that had run away from them. That miss will be replayed and reinterpreted 100 times, as a technical error, as a psychological lapse, or as the cruel illustration of a squad whose balance is still a question. The player himself, speaking afterwards, acknowledged the hurt and urged a positive reaction, saying these moments can make the team stronger if they are met with resolve rather than excuses. Those words matter because they are cast against the reality of results. Barca left Andalusia not just behind on the scoreboard, but behind in confidence, and that carries through to the locker room and into the debate that will swirl around Hansi Flick's system. Critics are pointing to structural issues, a high line that can be exposed, intermittent pressing that leaves the midfield open, misreads on transitions, and those critiques will be louder now that a convincing margin has been conceded. Flick must answer not only for selection and shape, but for whether the tactical blueprint still fits the personnel, because tactics without clarity breed panic, and panic multiplies mistakes. Beyond the tactical autopsy, there's the human ledger, veterans who must steady the young, emerging stars who must step up when the weight of expectation grows, and a dressing room that must show character rather than crumble into finger-pointing. With an international break looming, the narrative has already started to fill. Pundits replay the goals, fans demand accountability on social timelines, and rivals circle like predators sensing vulnerability. The bigger questions are practical. How will training change? Who recovers form? Which formations get tried? And emotional. Will the players respond? Will unity hold? Or will cracks widen? This match will be a reference point for weeks, not because one loss defines a season, but because the manner of the defeat and the symbolism of a missed penalty by a club legend combine to create a psychological moment. Barcelona can take the blunt lesson. Pain can be catalytic if met with humility and work. Or the club can allow the doubt to ferment until an already crowded fixture list compounds problems. What follows will be telling. A swift, focused reaction on the pitch, a tactical reset that addresses the open channels Sevilla exploited, and leadership from captain to coach. That turns a headline into a turning point rather than the first domino of a slide. For now, the images remain. A stadium that celebrated, a team that must face itself, and a veteran who knows the sting and has, in his own words, asked the squad to react positively. That challenge, to rebuild confidence, fix fragile systems, and answer in the only language that matters, performance, is the story Barcelona must tell next.